What if the path you're walking isn't leading where you think? Jesus warned us, not everyone who thinks they're saved truly is. He spoke of two gates, one wide and easy, the other narrow and hard. But why did he say that only a few would find the right one? The wide gate is beautiful, paved with good intentions, comfort, and false security. Millions walk it without questioning, encouraged by the crowd. But behind the charm lies destruction, cleverly hidden from those too distracted to notice. One voice says, "Follow your heart." Another whispers, "This way is hard, but it leads to life." The decision must be made, and once chosen, each step has eternal weight. This is where our story begins. He stood in silence, heart pounding, mind racing. The wide road promised ease, laughter, and many companions. The narrow one looked lonely, shadowed, and unsure. But something within pulled him toward the path few dared to walk. And he stepped forward. Each step on the narrow path felt like a battle, against fear, against doubt, against self. No music, no crowd, just silence and the echo of his own footsteps. But even in hardship there was clarity. He knew this path wasn't popular, because it was pure. Each step on the narrow path felt like a battle, against fear, against doubt, against self. No music, no crowd, just silence and the echo of his own footsteps. But even in hardship there was clarity. He knew this path wasn't popular, because it was pure. He passed remnants of others, those who tried but couldn't endure. Their failures whispered warnings, "This path will break you." But he knew, it wasn't the path that broke them. It was what they refused to leave behind. Just for a moment the veil lifted and he saw it. A kingdom of such beauty that words betrayed its majesty. Tears filled his eyes, not from pain but from hope. He had chosen rightly. He knew now, this path led to something greater. He was never truly alone. Others had chosen the hard road too, each with their own story of surrender. They didn't walk in pride but in quiet strength. Together they pressed forward, bound by faith, not fame. A sign greeted them, not with comfort but with truth. Endurance is the price of entrance. There would be no shortcuts, no applause, no easy exit. But their eyes stayed fixed on the prize, eternal life beyond the gate. He heard them, the parties, the laughter, the loud music. It all seemed so alive, so effortless. And for a fleeting moment he wondered, had he made the wrong choice? But deep inside something whispered, the road is wide, because it leads many to ruin. The journey turned steep, each step a battle against exhaustion. His hands scraped raw against stone and his legs trembled. But the pain was not meaningless. It shaped his soul, carved out pride and replaced it with endurance. Every inch climbed was a death to comfort, and a birth to purpose. A silent guardian appeared, his presence holy and still. "You must not veer left or right," he warned. "The narrow way demands your all. No shortcut can lead to truth. No detour avoids the cross." The traveler nodded. The cost was high, but so was the calling. The path vanished before him. Only a broken bridge spanned the abyss. But he was told, "Do not walk by sight, walk by faith." With trembling feet and eyes shut tight he stepped forward. Each footfall was a prayer. Each breath, an act of trust. The flames licked his skin but did not consume him. Everything unholy, fear, bitterness, pride, burned away. What remained was refined, golden, pure. The fire didn't punish him, it prepared him. Darkness fell, heavy, suffocating, thick with unseen voices. "You'll never make it. This is foolish. Turn back." But he remembered the promise, "Thy word is a lamp unto my feet." And that single light was enough. He saw himself, not as others saw him but as he truly was. The mirror revealed every hidden sin, every selfish motive. He fell to his knees broken. And in that surrender, the image changed. Grace rewrote his story. Just when strength failed, the well appeared. Mercy flowed like water, cooling, cleansing, reviving. His wounds healed, his spirit lifted. This was not just a path of suffering, it was a path of provision. He saw them, prints in the dust, marked with glory. Another had walked this path and conquered it. He followed the steps of one who bled, who wept, who rose. And suddenly every trial made sense. The path grew tighter, more dangerous. Only by letting go of all burdens could he move forward. There was no room for pride, no space for distraction. He walked, as one dying daily, and being reborn with every step. She whispered promises, of rest, of ease, of a quicker way. Her smile was soft, her tone sweet. But the light exposed her shadow, and behind that beauty hid deception. Not every opportunity is from God. Not every voice leads to life. Memories clung to him, regrets, shame, past failures. But the gate before him allowed no baggage. If he was to continue, he had to lay it down. For good. And so he did, and found freedom waiting on the other side. He wasn't alone after all. Another had chosen the same road, and though scarred, they smiled. They spoke of battles won, nights endured, and grace received. On the narrow path, companionship is rare, but holy. It looked like the end, a shining gate, joyful crowds, heavenly music. But something felt off, too easy, too smooth. And then he saw the sign: deception. The enemy disguises comfort as calling. But truth demands discernment. The wind spoke, not loudly, not with thunder, but with intimacy. His name spoken like a lullaby. In the chaos of the climb, the still small voice was the anchor. Not every miracle is loud. Sometimes heaven whispers. Confusion threatened to halt him. The sign was broken. Logic failed. But prayer illuminated what intellect could not. The harder road was the holier one. Faith doesn't always see, but it always obeys. He couldn't go forward while holding bitterness. As he released old wounds, the bridge rebuilt itself beneath him. Forgiveness was not weakness. It was a gateway to freedom. Without it, the path ends in isolation. The storm hit suddenly, pain, confusion, tears. He shouted, "Why now?" But as the rain fell, beauty rose, life sprouting from soaked soil. Sometimes heaven waters the seeds we didn't know we planted. They had shared the journey, but now their paths diverged. It hurt to say goodbye, but some roads we walk alone. He wasn't weaker for it. He was ready. The journey would now test his foundation, not his fellowship. The mountain dared him to choose speed or obedience. The shortcut was tempting, but the scars of the faithful lined the slow path. He took the long road, one faithful step at a time. Because in the narrow way, process matters more than pace. Not every struggle comes from the outside. Sometimes the battle is invisible, whispers in the mind, doubts in the soul. But he remembered the word, and as he spoke it aloud, shadows scattered. Darkness fears truth more than anything else. Night came, and with it silence. But his flame stayed lit. Each act of obedience had added oil to his lamp, unseen yet essential. Endurance was not about speed. It was about staying lit when others gave up. Comfort called, not sin but satisfaction. "You've done enough," it said. "Rest here." But he saw the truth. Comfort that halts calling is not peace. It's a tomb. He pressed on, for the reward lay ahead, not behind. Even on the narrow path, the cries of the lost echo. He paused, stretched out his hand, and pulled another soul from the brink. Helping them didn't stop his journey. It fulfilled it. Sometimes the narrow road detours to rescue. Each step drew blood, not from enemies but from the path itself. Was this truly the way? But even in pain he saw the footprints of the one who walked before. Suffering did not prove abandonment. It proved alignment. He saw himself, truly. The pride, the secrets, the wounds. This gate wouldn't open by strength but by surrender. And as he fell to his knees, the reflection faded, and the path opened. They had walked this road before, giants of faith, scarred by obedience. And now their testimonies spoke louder than fear. He wasn't the first, and he wouldn't be the last. The narrow road is ancient and blessed. Power whispered. Glory offered. Not in the name of rebellion but of good. But he knew, a throne earned by compromise is a prison in disguise. He turned away, choosing a crown made of obedience instead. No bridge. No safety net. Just faith. And as he stepped out, the light held him. Each step forward built the path beneath him, invisible until obeyed. Faith doesn't wait for proof, it walks on promise. The journey ended, not in applause but in awe. He had not arrived because he was strong but because he was faithful. And as the gate opened, heaven whispered, "Well done." This was the narrow way, and it led to glory. It was not applause that greeted him, but silence, holy and weighty. The light of eternity didn't blind him, it healed him. All the pain, the choices, the road, it was worth it. The narrow way didn't just lead to heaven, it led to the King. There was rest here, but not from sleep. It was the rest of a battle fought well. He didn't feel tired anymore. He felt finished, like a story complete, a purpose fulfilled. Heaven didn't gloat at the lost. Even now it mourned. The narrow gate had been open all along. But so many chose the crowd over the call. His name was written, not because of works but because of surrender. He hadn't earned heaven, he had answered. Grace had carried him where effort never could. And now his name would never be forgotten. They came from every tribe, every time, every language. They had walked the narrow road too. And now they feasted, not on food but on fulfillment. It was the table of the faithful. He didn't wear a crown of status but of obedience. Every prayer, every tear, every yes when it hurt. It was all there shining. He had lost much, but gained everything. His walk didn't just shape him, it shaped others. The narrow path wasn't private, it was powerful. And now his life whispered to someone else. Walk the narrow way. It's worth it. Heaven isn't hiding. The gate is still open, still narrow, still true. Few will enter. But all are invited. And still it waits for the next brave soul. He never walked alone. The King had been with him all along, though unseen. Every step, every fall, every triumph was shared. The narrow road isn't walked by the strong, but by the held. He warned them not to scare but to save. Enter through the narrow gate, he said. But many still chase the wide road, paved with good intentions. And few, so few, choose the hard way. His story was complete. Not because of greatness but because of faithfulness. He hadn't walked the easy road. But he had walked the right one. This was no reward. It was home, what he was made for. He had traded the world for eternity. And found the garden beyond the gate. The story didn't end, it was passed on. His faith became another's guide. And the path, the narrow lonely path, it began again under new feet. It never shouts. It whispers to hearts ready to listen. Still narrow. Still sacred. Still calling the few. The choice is no longer his. Now it's yours. The gate is before you. Will you choose comfort, or the call?